Shaquille O'Neal recently went public saying that he's not just going to hand over his millions to his kid. And I understand that. Like, a man came from Jersey, worked real hard growing up. He's got 5 biological children and 1 stepson. He is worth $400 million with numerous business. You know, man owns like 150 car washes. Like,
smart. Very smart. You know it. Very.
What do you think about this? I mean, you have children. What?
I love Shaq. Shaq's a great dude. I'm 100% back him. He wants to teach his children to, mind you, they're gonna be taken care of because he's dad and he loves his children. He's a great human. Yeah. That man is a great human being in general, off the court. But no, it's right. He wants his kids to work. He wants to teach them what he did. You know, like, you got to go out there, you got to want it, you got to work hard for it, you got to do this to get there. I'm sure he'll take care of his kids, but there's nothing wrong with teaching your kids how to work for it. Because a lot of these kids that have privilege that parents just hand over stuff to them, they learn absolutely nothing.
Yep,
except like being lazy or thinking they're better than somebody. And I think when you start thinking like that, that's a no-no to me. I want my kids to learn where you came from and to work hard. And then when you get to where like Shaq did, you'll get to look back and be like, man, I worked hard for all of that, and you're gonna do it too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to teach you how to do it, because now the world is like, parents just hand money over to kids, and you see it nowadays, the way they act, driving their cars, like thinking like, I'm better than you, but you know, I don't have to do anything. My mom and daddy did it.
Right.
No, that's the wrong way to go about it.
There is actually an artist, you know, and I'm not a hater. There is an artist that sent my people a video, and coming as someone who grew up watching people do the hustle, trying to get their music out and all that stuff, this kid is very wealthy. His videos are amazing, cool videos. The music side, but it's how he came at my people, like, you should put my music out, like that entitlement,
almost like you need to,
you should. I don't know.
You know, I had an experience like you're talking about. When my daughter graduated from high school, I bought her a car. And the night of the prom, her and her girlfriends was driving in this car, and the car stopped for some reason. I know she had a wreck. That's what it was. She had a wreck. And so she calls me, and she's left the car sitting over by Olive. She's left the car sitting there. She calls me and says, Mom, I had a wreck, and the car's sitting over there, and so would you go get it? So I call the police.
Oh.
I called the police, and I told them to go get the car, and they said, do you want us to have them bring it to your house? I said, no, I want you to keep it, and I gave it to them.
Right.
So she had no car. So that taught her a good lesson.
Exactly.
You know, and I'm one of those parents that was doing too much.
You teach them that tough love. It's like you have to, because if you don't, then they're just gonna think that they can do whatever they want. And I've seen that sometimes in children, like, you know, they feel they're entitled, and they didn't do anything for it. You know, you worked hard for it, so they just think they get to reap that. That's the young people's mentality nowadays, and it's sad. It's sad to see that, but you see it every day.
Crimson never wanted to battle with me. She knew her mom was crazy. You know, and but honestly, I think that my daughter see me grow up as like a mom that did a lot, trying when she was real young. I was really trying and struggling with a lot of things. And so I think as an adult now, she's doing great. You know, I think your kids learn from you, but sometimes that wanting to like spoil them and love on them, it goes overboard and you have to pull back.
So true.
It can definitely backfire. I relate with Shaq though.
Yeah.
Like I if I was rich like that, which I feel like I will be, I'm not.
You will. You will.
Yes.
You will.
Manifestation.
That's
you
right.
feel me?
That's right.
I wouldn't give my kids everything just like that just because they my kids. You're gonna have to work for something.
Exactly.
Because I feel like his worst nightmare, which would be mine, is like Vic Carter's kid, spoiled kid, done wrecked his Lamborghini and killed 3 people, and you know what I'm saying? Should have never had a Lambo. He should have been in a Taurus.
Exactly.
Because you didn't work for that. You know what I mean?
I was talking to my people about it. I said he should make his kids work in a public service, working in like a fast food restaurant for 1 year before they're able to get some kind of step toward entitlement or a business of that money. You know what I mean?
But then that'll come back to the whole celebrity privacy thing, because Shaq's kids at McDonald's, they're gonna be up there.
McDonald's gonna be popping.
They're gonna be popping,
but sometimes if they don't tell, they don't know whose kids they are.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
some
true.
people, I've worked with some people coming up that when I found out who their parents was like, wow, why didn't you tell me that was your parents?
Yeah.
What, you know,
Well,
to
I
them
mean,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
To that effect, it's like Drake rapping in the song talking about, you know, rolling up to his kid's French immersion class with the Secret Service. It kind of defeats the purpose. Like,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
I believe like you know, I have a lot of friends who have kids who allow them to help them out in like soup kitchens and stuff. And I'm a big believer in that, that you should always, if you come from that, you know, money and all that stuff, like, and but deep down, you know, you worked hard for it, you know where you came from, you know, I feel like you should do things like that to take your children and be like, listen, you know, like, we're going to go to the soup kitchen and help people and stuff like that, because not everybody has it like this, you know, and you know, I've done that with my children. I have friends who've done it with their kids, and it teaches them to be humble, to be thankful.
Yes,
You're
does.
blessed and all that stuff, you know, because I come from a religious family. You know, I believe in God. I know, like, he takes care of me, and he's my provider and stuff like that. So I think, like, you got to take your kids and teach them lessons like that. It's a good thing, but it's also a good thing for you as well when you're doing that with your children. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So if you got kids out there and stuff like that, and you want to teach them, like, do things like that, because I think it humbles them, but also teaches them to be appreciative of what they have now. Be thankful for what they have now. You
don't get so busy with your life that you forget that there's somebody watching you.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
You have children?
I don't have any kids.
No kids?
I don't plan on having any. Things happen.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, sometimes with your kids, like, I think even though your intentions are the best, I think that sometimes your kids just get carried away. And like you said, it's important to, like, rein them back in and give them direction, because that's the only way it's gonna work.
Look at nowadays with social media. That's the biggest thing
It's
with
scary.
social media. When we were younger and stuff like that, social media wasn't there. But nowadays, my daughter, 15, almost 15, she sees what this person's wearing and this makeup and the hair and the shoes and stuff like that. Daddy, I want that. It's like, man, like, but
that goes back to our topic that we were discussing, beauty and women. You know, like, you got 18-year-old girls getting nose jobs and stuff now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer of be happy in your own skin. God created us all different shapes and sizes to be different shapes and sizes and different people. You know, like,
he doesn't make mistakes.
No.
You know,
No,
so
he does.
That's crazy. You ain't even done developing and you trying to change your body.
exactly.
Right.
You don't know what you're about to turn into.
right?
And you're only doing it because of what you see on that computer,
and what you see is fake too.
Exactly.
I know a lot of men, women that don't fully mature until they're like in their 30s. Like, their body's still changing, and you're just like playing with it. Like, you know, there's a lot of women that I grew up just idolizing, and they have just destroyed themselves through plastic surgery. A lot of them, maybe it'll make you feel better, but like, you become so far gone from who you are. It's like, I don't even
Look at Lil' Kim.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love Lil' Kim.
That's like almost heartbreaking to look at her now.
Yeah, because 90s Lil' Kim was like, oh my God, like, you gorgeous. Now it's like, you look fake.
Yeah. Well, it's
Michael Jackson was the same way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
he was
I think a lot of
ridiculous.
people have a fear of aging, and I'm like, you know, bring it on. Like, the older the better, like a fine wine. Like,
Right?
I
Exactly.
don't even care.